Hi knitters, I'm going to show you how to do a yarnless bind off, and this is something that I was doing when I was a new knitter and I didn't even know that it had a name until last year. And sometimes I wasn't able to tell when I did not have enough yarn to work one more row and then do my bind off. So I would work my one more row and then discover that I didn't have enough yarn to go back and do my bind off. So I was doing my bind off this way. So that's what I'm going to show you. You can do this with straight needles or when you're knitting in the round. But you see here I have my working yarn here. And if I were to turn my work, I would be in position to work one more row. But let's say I am supposed to bind off now, and I have, like, I don't know, just a couple inches of yarn left, and I don't have enough to finish my bind off. So I'm going to take my needles here, and I'm not going to knit, I'm just going to slip all of my stitches over to my right needle. Whoops. So you do not want to be working from the end where your working yarn is coming from, or where your tail would be if you had run out of yarn. You want to start from the end of your work where there is no tail. There's nothing here. I'm going to turn this around. And now I'm going to slip a first stitch to the right needle. I'm going to slip the next stitch. And then, just as if I were doing a regular bind off, as if I had knitted these stitches, you just pick up the first stitch and pass it over the second stitch. Slip another stitch. Pass that first stitch over. Slip a stitch. Pass a stitch over. So this is just like if you were doing, say, a regular knitted bind off, except we're not working with any new yarn. We're just working with the stitches that we already have completed. So if you were doing this on circular knitting or knitting in the round, when you reach the beginning of your round where you would start to bind off, you just would want to turn your work and work backwards in the opposite direction. Or if you are knitting flat on circular needles, you would just slide your stitches to the other end, just so that you're starting out on the opposite end of where your working yarn is, because you need that tail for your last stitch. And I'll show you that as soon as we get there. I've even done this right in the middle of a row. Sometimes you just have to fudge things to get it done, and that's okay. Okay, here's my last stitch. Okay, so here's my tail, my working yarn. And then you would just pull it through like you normally do when you're binding off. And then you can weave in your end. But there you have a pretty nice, neat bind off. It's not terribly stretchy, but if you need to bind off and you just don't have enough yarn, you can do the yarnless bind off.